Hello, class. Welcome to our reading review of using sources. Um, so, if we start on page 427, right, we read about the different ways to evaluate the sources. And the best thing to do is to use the library database. You go to the library homepage, you click on articles and databases, click on general topics or controversial topics. There's all different databases. My favorite, if you click on alphabetized A to Z, click O, opposing viewpoints in context. Opposing viewpoints starts with the letter O. That is pretty much a database that you could use for every essay source you need, not just for this class, but for most classes if you need argumentative essays. It's exactly as it sounds. It's opposing. So it's a Rogerian argument example uh, on every issue, and they have pretty much everything listed. They have pros and cons. They look at it from both sides, and they're all reliable sources because the college pays for these databases. It's not free. So you're going to need, your login information. That being said, it's a great place to get your sources, and they have citations at the bottom of the articles. So, for academic argument number one, you're going to build off your rhetorical analysis essay, right? What do you need to do? You need to add your reasons why we should eat meat, eat less meat, or not eat meat at all. And you're going to have to get additional sources. So when you turn the final paper in, it's going to have four sources, one of which is vegetarian is the new Prius, one of which may be my story, right? Maybe you used About Us from Huffington Post. Again, just make sure that you have a total of four sources and a total of 4 pages, and you present your reasons why you agree with Freston or disagree with Freston. Eat the same amount of meat, you disagree with her. Eat less meat, you agree with her. And eat no meat, you agree with her. And you want to join the vegetarian movement. I say that with pride as a vegetarian myself. So, that being said, opposing viewpoints is a great place to go. Click on vegetarianism. When you get there, it'll say browse issues. So go to opposing viewpoints and click on issues or browse issues at the top. All of them pop up. They're in ABC order. Vegetarianism. And they have pro and con articles that you can use. You can also do a super search and just search all the databases on the library homepage under articles and databases for vegetarianism, reasons to eat meat, reasons to not eat meat. Um, Whatever aspect of this essay you're going to focus on, just make sure you're getting at least two other sources. You're going to do a précis of those sources, and then you're going to make sure you cite from those sources in the final academic argument essay, just like you should have cited from Vegetarian is the New Prius. Maybe you also cited from My Story or About Us from the HuffPost page. So, the book gives us great advice on assessing sources, whether they're print or electronic. I love their way they phrase it, practice crap detection. And they quote Ernest Hemingway, right? Every man and woman should have a built in automatic crap detector operating inside them. An interesting point. If you use the library database, you know they're reliable sources. If you want to get articles from Google, that's okay as long as they're reliable. Okay? There are reliable articles on the internet, but I think we also know what's considered unreliable. The easiest thing you can do, though, is use the library database. So, hopefully, everybody, I'm kind of looking through the pages here, synthesizing the information, blending the ideas with your own, and you do that when you quote from your sources and then comment on those sources. So synthesize the information. When you bring sources in, it helps make your argument more logical and it demonstrates that you're Rogerian, right? I like the bullet list on page 439. Um, Questions to consider about how to incorporate your sources into your arguments. Um, they discuss the difference between paraphrasing and quoting specifically in the book. If you are going to paraphrase, make sure you change all the words that you don't have quotation marks around. You have to put quotes around any of their words or numbers. I always tell students, and myself included, I prefer direct quotations. Use the direct quotation and then comment on the significance in your own words. Don't try to do it all at once with a paraphrase. Use your quotes strategically, right? Start with a framing sentence or signal phrase, as the book says on page 445. Frame materials you borrow with signal words and introductions. Set up the quote with either a signal phrase and a comma or a complete sentence and a colon. And you might want to take the first sentence of your rhetorical précis, put a colon after it, and then sets up the quote from your source. Or you might want to just use a signal phrase like Freston claims and then a comma. There are many examples on pages 445 and 446 to setting up your quotes and using punctuations. There's examples where they blend the quote in with their own words and they don't need any punctuation. There's examples of signal phrases with commas. There's an example of a complete sentence and a colon. Furthermore, at the bottom of 446 and 447, just like the word bank on your rhetorical précis handout, you have, right, and your rhetorical précis worksheet, you have a word bank with many, many verbs that are frequently used signal verbs. So rather than consistently say claims, Freston claims, comma, the author claims, comma, maybe say admits, emphasizes, expresses, reports, remarks, concludes, advises. And I'm just about a third of the way through them. They're all alphabetized and clearly listed on the top of 447 and the bottom of 446. So if you have any questions about your sources, let me know. Give me a call, shoot me a text. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. And hopefully, as you're moving forward, you feel more confident getting the sources. But please let me know if you have any questions. And I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for your patience. More to come.